Hello, my name is Maggie Connor. I teach second grade math at Central Elementary and am finishing up my 6th year of teaching. I joined Innovation Academy to challenge myself to enhance student engagement, foster critical thinking, and learn ways to better prepare my students for a changing world. I also was excited to use it to enhance the Building Thinking Classrooms model I started using the previous year. This year of learning helped me to make stronger relationships and pushed me out of my comfort zone to provide my students with opportunities they may never get to experience. When it comes to building relationships, I normally start the year by using a few icebreakers and jumping into beginning of year assessments. This year, I prioritized deeper connections with my students and fostered a stronger classroom community by putting my students into daily random groups from day one and intertwined relationship building activities with non-curricular building thinking classroom tasks. One of my favorite non-curricular thinking tasks to start the year is called the 100 number task. Students are put into random groups of 3 and they go in order to circle numbers consecutively to 100. The team that gets to the highest number within 3 minutes wins. This helps to establish classroom routines the first weeks of school, builds confidence because most second graders can count to 100, breaks the ice and requires teamwork and communication, and creates a learning environment where students aren't afraid to make mistakes. I also love this task because if we ever find ourselves not working within our class norms throughout the year, I can pull this task out to give everyone a reminder. I was challenged to provide my students with a technology creative outlet in math. I decided to try Canva. I gave my students the opportunity to create posters so that they could demonstrate their knowledge of 3-dimensional solids. I was nervous that I did not teach them enough about Canva, but they took off and were able to show what they know in such unique ways. My students are constantly asking when they get to use Canva next. I loved the excitement and confidence in their learning that it instilled in them. They have gotten to use it in geometry, fractions, and data analysis so far this year. Next, I focused on building thinking classrooms strategies. My classroom is completely student-centered. You will find them doing 90% of the talking each day. They are more excited to learn and teach each other. They are way more engaged and have learned to think at a much deeper level. Their thinking never stops. They get upset when it is time to move on and ask to take the tasks outside to recess or even home. Like I said, my students do most of the talking each day, which has majorly improved their conversational and social skills inside and outside of the classroom. And most of all, they learned how to think on their own and in their own unique ways. One of the innovative spaces that I focused on this year was the vertical non-permanent surfaces that I use almost daily for building thinking classrooms. The goal is for each whiteboard to have groups of 3, which promotes robust discussions and collaboration by minimizing subgroups that form naturally. This also encourages active participation, increases engagement, breaks passive learning, and fosters risk-taking. The other innovative space I focused on was getting outside more, not necessarily to play, but to learn outside or warm up for our inside learning. I took my classes outside before tests and noted increased scores and reduced stress levels. After norms were set when learning outside, I noticed a rise in engagement and participation. Innovation Academy has given me the opportunity to dive in and study many different teaching practices that I got to bring back to my classroom. My students have gained confidence, social skills, and a whole new perspective on learning. My next step is to take my learning into the next school year and mold it to meet the needs of my new students. I also have many more practices in my toolbox that I did not have the chance to use this year that I am excited to try.